What's up, everybody? Alex here. Welcome back to another video. You've guessed it, another thread response. I love all of these, but this one, when I saw my boy Daryl up at Northern Vinyl Guy post about it, I wanted to jump on it for two major reasons. A, because Daryl is a newish channel. He at the time of posting this, he had just surpassed 50 subscribers, and so he's kind of celebrating 50 and moving on to 100. Like I said in previous videos, I just love supporting people on YouTube, and especially these smaller channels who are growing, and it's like a pay it forward sort of thing. The second thing is I just thought it was really creative. There was just some really cool questions, questions that made me think a little bit, made me like dig a little bit. So Daryl, this is for you. Again, that's Daryl at Northern Vinyl Guy. I'll have all of his information below. Please check him out. If you like his stuff, give him a subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, appreciate you all checking me out. So he had 4 questions that were all sort of centered around a couple of different themes. Him approaching surpassing 50 subscribers, him approaching 100 subscribers, the fact that he's Canadian, like so many other people on YouTube, how old he is, all these different things. So his first question, I will admit, was the toughest. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it, but I was, thumbing through. I was like, I could do this. This is great. So his first question was to show a 45, which I don't have a lot of, but to show a 45 of a band or an artist from Canada, anywhere else if you don't have one. It doesn't have to be from Canada, but a 45 from a band or an artist in Canada. Bonus points is if it's from 1979. I think that was the year he was born. Oh, I don't have one from 1979, but I do have a 45 from a Canadian artist. The real quick story with this is I was given a couple of boxes of just pretty wrecked, unsleeved, uncovered 45s. I think I paid like $10 for like 200 of them or something. And I was going through, and most of them were absolute trash, but I decided to save the ones that either it was like a song I really liked or an artist that I really liked. And so there were a handful that I shared. And this, some of you might put in the old guilty pleasure catalog or category. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I think this is such a good song, such a great pop song. And it is by a Canadian artist who hails actually from Quebec. And I'm talking about Andy Kim. That's right. We have Rock Me Gently from 1974 on the Capitol label. Andy Kim, of course, first of all, not his real last name. Second of all, he also was part sort of the Archies fictitious band, but had co-written Sugar Sugar. And so, again, back in 1974, he writes and performs Rock Me Gently, an absolute song I love. And he's from Quebec. So there you go. That is my pick for a 45 from an artist from Canada. The second question is, show an album that was released in 1979. That's the year that he was born. And for this, I wanted to say, okay, it's an album from 1979 that I do love. It features my favorite track from this artist, and the artist is Canadian. And I'm going to go with Neil Young, Rust Never Sleeps, this sort of semi-live, semi-studio, first half acoustic, second half electric sort of thing. What's important for me on this, and it was, gosh, I remember hearing the song for the first time when I was probably in high school, has remained my favorite Neil Young song, and that is Thrasher. It's the second track on here. Just this beautiful acoustic, sort of meandering, countless verses, amazing sort of, quasi-existential writing. I don't know how much of it totally makes sense. There's been a lot of conversations about what it's about. Some people have said that it's about him leaving Crosby, Stills, and Nash and sort of what they're doing versus what he's doing. Other people said it was literally just about him growing up and watching certain things on the television. Whatever it is, for me, it's one of my favorite songs of all time, my favorite from Neil. And there's just so many lines in that song that have always just stood out to me. So, love the song Thrasher, love this record, Rust Never Sleeps from Neil, the Canadian artist from 1979. Next question is, show the 50th album alphabetically in your collection. So a couple of different ways to do this, but you sort of said, okay, if you go through Discogs, what's like the 50th in alphabetical order? And for me, as a band that I guess is on hiatus / doesn't exist anymore, that I love. They put out 2 records. This was their second record, so I guess their final record. This came out almost 10 years ago now, back in 2015 on HEO Records, independent label out of New York that was founded actually by Dave Matthews, but a lot of indie artists are on there. And that's the Alabama Shakes with Sound and Color. If you don't know the Alabama Shakes, they are from Alabama, led by Brittany Howard, who has since gone off and done her own really good solo career under the title Jamie, I think. But Alabama Shakes from Alabama. This is rootsy. This is a soulful, really soulful. A little garagey, but not sloppy garagey. They put this out, and then their previous record from a couple years earlier was called Boys and Girls, which is also amazing. So yeah, the band put out 2 records, awesome stuff. Brittany Howard went on and did her own solo stuff, and she's amazing too, and her records are great. She just put out her second record, I think, last year or earlier this year. But yeah, Alabama Shakes, if you're into soul, some rootsy type of just good old like Southern stuff, you will really love this record and this band. I want to show too, I forget the variant of this, but very cool wax on here. So yeah, Alabama Shakes, Sound and Color. A great record and a great band that I would love to see get together again in the future. And then the last question here, show an artist band title that has a number in it. Bonus if it's the number 100, because that's what he's going for. So a ton of band songs that have numbers in there, but I wanted to say, but I want to get the bonus points, right? And I'm still on a little bit of a high from seeing the Rolling Stones just a couple of weeks ago. And I think a very underrated album, what some people might say is maybe a step backwards, but I think it is still part of their long streak of greatness that when they put all these records together. And that is going to 1973's Goat's Head Soup and the song 100 Years Ago. Second track on the record. Obviously, this record was sort of mostly known because it had a huge hit, Angie. It's the record right after Exile on Main Street. And again, some people will say this is a little bit of a step back-ish, but I think this is still a really great record. And I mean, Stones could do no wrong for me from about 66 to 74, if you want to include, 75, I guess, if you want to include Back in Blue. But anyway, or Blue and Black. Black and, doesn't matter. Anyway, Goat's Head Soup, 100 Years Ago. Check that box on the 100. An amazing song, kind of funky, kind of soulful. It's got all the different stuff going on. Of course, Mick Taylor's still rocking at this point too. So yeah, those are my picks. So again, amazing thread, Daryl. Please again, go check out his channel if you have not already. Jump on this thread. We love this type of stuff. We'd love to see what you all have. And yeah, check out Northern Vinyl Guy. His information is below. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care now. Bye.